Peace, family. We are now live. As always, thank you for your patience. I'm with a brother that you all love when this brother come on the show. I mean, y'all love when this brother come on the show, and the brother comes and he delivers each and every time. One of the baddest brothers out there right now. I'm about to bring him on, but before I do that, we're gonna get to a quick commercial. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Tell your friends and family we're live. We're gonna have a good time tonight. It's gonna be enjoyable. We're gonna get to some good information from our good brother. So we'll be right back after this quick break, family. Rod Hayes, welcome back to the show, my brother.
Peace to the God. Peace to the
Peace.
God. Hey,
Peace.
before we get started, man, I gotta plug that plug you just plugged. Y'all gotta watch Billy Carson. Look, in multiple lifetimes, that was my big brother.
Billy Carson?
Yeah.
That's a help. Wow. In multiple lifetimes.
And the ones when he wasn't my big brother, he was a friend of the family. He been around in every one of my lifetimes.
Yeah. Damn.
And
man.
He always come off the 4.
What do you mean he always come off the 4?
He a mama's boy, but he following daddy's footsteps. The 4 represents the 4X chromosomes, the 4-corner shuffle, which is a 4-corner hustler. That's a knockout of Big Mama house. Whenever you see somebody throwing a 4 up sideways like that, that's what they coming from Big Mama house, straight off the 4. He telling you a blueprint for your God power, and then you got brother Be Serious. Tones, frequencies, right? Tones and frequencies. Now, watch this. Brother Be Serious is incarnate energy of Sirius B. That's the masculine musical expression.
What, Sirius B?
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, Brother Carson energy is Orianos. He what you call on Earth one of the golden ones.
Orianos, you said?
Yeah, that's the Orion star constellation.
Oh, okay.
So in ancient Egypt, he would be called an Osirian.
Osirian?
A Osirian. That's a child of Osiris.
Wow.
If he give you a blueprint for God power, you can walk right into your power. Then he using the frequencies and harmony coming off Sirius B. This universe that we in was created as a side effect of Sirius B's expansion, and that's why the Dogon come from the Sirius constellation, and they one of the oldest clans because they hold the secrets to tell us what's the cause of this universe being here. Sirius B, Sirius A, Sirius B, Sirius C are all on the heels of the Osirian or Osiris, the great Orion in the sky. If he give you a blueprint for God power, He is accurate enough where if you follow it to the letter, you cannot miss.
Damn, you came in here dropping. Wait till I tell Billy, man. I'm like, yo, Billy, man, you was Rod's older brother in past lives. Wow, bro.
I always find him even when he ain't looking for me. You know how you is about your big brothers, right?
Right, yeah.
Always want to go hang out with him. And he always, seriously, he always making his own way.
Yeah, man. Wow.
He don't never, he might ask for a hand up, but he ain't gonna never ask for a hand out. That's just how he is. He always been that way in every incarnation. He might ask for a hand up, and then if you give him a hand up, he gonna reciprocate.
Y'all heard it there, man. Make sure y'all join January 7th. Rod Hayes just gave us the biggest props ever. Billy Carson, Dr. B serious, man. Wait till Dr. B hear what you say about him, man. That's love, man. I appreciate that.
Hey, look at the date. That's a Q flip.
It's a what? What you mean?
A Q flip. The Q9. A Q flip. The number 17. January the 7th, 1/7. All right. The space bar between them, when you write the date, it means it flips off the Q. That's a Queen Mother seal. Then it say 12-8. That's a 2-bar cane to catch a queen bee in flight.
Yo,
off the PM. The P is the princess, the M is the mother. The EST is the suffix. E is the M on its side. S means it's a zigzag flip off the T, which is the square.
This dude is not human, y'all. This dude, we ain't even start yet. He
gave me the knock. I got to answer it.
Yes.
it's right here in the date. So the Q flip off the TH. The T is the square. And the H is the haze. He's sending me a message, but it's an intuitive message on what we call the Wind Talker channel.
The Wind Talker channel.
Right. It's the psychic connection of all of the ones that's tied to the bloodline. We can talk to each other in your face, and you won't never know we said nothing. And the irony is you come in, right, with the left eye. That's the mother eye. That's the eye she gave Horus. Because Pops gave his eye to Isis. When you go to the Book of the Coming Forth by Day, it said that Isis is the eye of Ra. Right? So she is the favorite daughter. Right? And the son is the one who gets the eye of Heru, which is the eye of the son that he gets from the mother, which is called the wisdom eye. The father eye is the knowledge eye. Right? That's why they got two different names. You got one is the Wajet, right? And the other one is called Uraeus. But if you look up either one of the words, it's going to pull up one of them eyes like you got on your cap. In Big Mama colors, because Big Mama watching.
Indeed. Woo, what a way to start, huh, y'all? Hey, you got them stunned in the chat, man. What a way to start. All right, y'all. Oh, man, make sure you click the link at the top of the chat for the workshop for those who want to join January 7th. We got also another announcement. Rod Hayes is going to be on my Patreon tomorrow. So everybody who's a Patreon, he's going to be tapped in live on Patreon tomorrow. I don't know if it's going to be live, but he's definitely going to be on Patreon tomorrow. There's some things we want to talk about that, is censorship information. We're going to be dealing with solar flares, DNA upgrades, stuff like that. But shout out to everybody who's a Patreon. We're going to have a special show for you tomorrow. It's going to be powerful, jam-packed. So all the Patreons, make sure you're tuning tomorrow. And shout out to everybody who already got tickets. Listen, Rod, when I called you, I said, listen, I was watching Rod Hayes' Instagram, and he started going in about Nibiru, and the Crystal City, and these ship stats that he say, because he said before he don't really like talking about the space stuff because we got so much to concentrate on down here. But not only are you noticing the increase in activity in the skies, Rod, it's all over internet. They can't hide this shit.
Undeniable.
All over. That's all everybody's talking about. Yo, what's going on in the sky? It's like, yo, it's impossible to hide. Rod, talk to me. Talk to the people about what was you talking about on your Instagram with Nibiru, Crystal City, and these ships that you say is the size of cities, my brother. We got to know what's going on, brother. You tapped in. Talk to us.
All of those city-side ships, they're half mile by half mile. Mm-hmm. Those are called transport ships for supplies. Mm-hmm. So anytime because Earth is not the only organic planet in Nibiru's trajectory that they pass by and exchange some kind of trade. They got different substances that you don't even know about in this reality. In other areas, they got metal where you can tell the metal with your verbal words what to do and it'll do it. So you would tell them, like, if you know the blueprint for the car, you see it in your head, and you would tell and then you would talk to the metal and say, become the car. Then the picture of the blueprint of the car through your voice transfers to the metal, and it'll form into a whole car.
Wow.
Right? But we don't have that metallic substance here. This is where they got the blueprint for something called black goo.
Black goo. Okay.
But anyway, back to the trajectory of Nibiru. Now there are several planetary size satellites of Nibiru that's close. Mm-hmm. They about in the night sky, they're gonna look like the moon in size, but they bigger than Earth, but they smaller than Saturn and Jupiter. Mm-hmm. Right? And then they have some that's smaller than our moon that's in the trail and the tail. Right? So before they put the moon there, at nighttime, you could, with the luminous reflection of Jupiter, it looked like we had a black light in the sky. And it made all of their luminaries radiate like you was in the disco club under a black light. Some of them base color is red. Some of them base color is blue. But whatever their base color is, the black light pulls that to the forefront. Just like you do on the colors of the clothes in the club. You ain't even know that your white shined blue and purple. Mm-hmm. Right? That's Lilith energy off Lilith moon. That's just a simulation of it because it's even richer. The color is even richer in density and texture. I don't even know if you can understand. But our color spectrum, because of our visual light range, we can't see as many detailed colors or at the depth of the details of the colors as some of the other beings from different places. Mm-hmm. Right? So we have to expand our visual cortex. You can, but it takes training.
Right.
See, the biggest problem we face with now is fast food culture, impatience. Nobody want to take the time to train themselves to be what they want to be. That's why I don't like talking about the ships, but they here, it's undeniable. So the little ships, them like cars, right? They ride them around like cars everywhere they go. They load them up on the jumper craft, and if they want to get closer, and then if they get close enough, then you have the Area 51, which they would call what they was doing hot dogging, like we do in the car. Mm-hmm. You know how they do drifting and sliding in the cars?
Yeah.
That's why they crash, being silly, playing, laughing at the humans, thinking that everything all ha ha he he, and they got too close to the ground. See, they got they was distracted some kind of way in the cockpit because the speed in which they can shift left to right and reverse, a blink and you'll miss it. That's how fast they can turn directions. They show it on a lot of the sighting videos over the years, how fast they can go from standing still to 10,000 miles an hour. Faster than a Lamborghini Diablo can get from 0 to 60. That's old technology. They've been playing with that. We used to play with that on the old Earth before the wars. Them was toys. That was stuff we did for fun. Now that stuff is high magic. Drop something. Yeah, now that stuff is high magic and high technology, and our culture is regressed. We back in the Stone Ages right now. Mm-hmm. We ain't even out the Stone Ages for this cycle. But the way that the Piscean Age was, you was under the waters mentally, right? That means you couldn't see clear. Everything was slightly adjusted, slightly off center. So if you don't know how to adjust your vision, like that fish that shoot that spit of water up and knock the bug off the leaf, mm-hmm. then you won't be able to see clearly what you're looking at. So now you got to rely on guesswork, which leads to some stuff called belief systems, mm-hmm. right? And that's what confuses the whole situation, because before the belief system age comes into, it becomes active, right? You was in another knowing phase, right? So you went from knowing to guessing. Now we going back to knowing. And so when we looking up now, it's going to be fleets from very different places. This is the first time Enlil's been defeated.
You said this is the first time he's been defeated?
The first time he ever lost.
Who would you say defeated him?
Tahuti. Which would be me.
How did you defeat him?
Because he was using all of the Earth rights, and he didn't believe that I would figure out what he was doing. So they villainized him in the Piscean Age, because you got to rely on belief. All they got to do is give you a belief. This is a protracted struggle. In the Americas, we coming out of a 500-year protracted struggle, but universally, we coming out of like a 75, 80,000 year protracted struggle, long war. Mm. Zechariah Sitchin wrote about the wars of gods and men. This is what he's talking about. Mm. Right? And so when the men was first put on the earth, we was put here because Enlil was coming. They knew he was coming because Ainana was here. She said, you know that brother man ain't no earthly good. And he don't mean earth no good. So as soon as he come, we gonna have to have a strategy in place, or else he will win. And I'm the firstborn of the earthborn. So it became my responsibility as the crown prince of heaven and earth to not let him win. So he wasn't gonna win. I don't give a fuck how many wins he had. He could have been 100 trillion and over. Mm-hmm. But when you come to earth, now you got a whole nother set of issues to deal with. If you don't honor the mitochondria, you can't hide. If you don't honor the divine feminine, you can't hide. You're going to stick out like a sore thumb. Especially in the Conjure War, because you have to be heavily reliant on the earth rights, which is what we call it today, voodoo. Those are conjure rights, which is the rights of the women to use these powers to protect themselves in the earth before men was here. Mm-hmm. So since she came, okay, so you know your brother is a jealous motherfucker, right? And he your wife, twin sister. That would be Enki's place. Enki is the half brother of Enki and Ainana, and Enlil is her twin. They fraternal twins. And that's why Gemini have two opposite sex. They call that the development of the duality. That's what they represent, which in masonry comes out as Joaquin and Boaz, severity and mercy. Right? So when they say, can you take the left bump? If I punch you in your face, is you going to run or is you going to fight back? Well, I don't know about the rest of them, but I'm not Martin. I'm not Gandhi. I'm going to punch your ass right the fuck back. You better believe that. And if you run and I don't get you today, I'll catch you the next time. You won't see me coming like I seen you. Right? Because you're going to either bump straight or I'm going to bump your ass back left until you bump straight.
Hey, Ron, let me ask you, these ships and Nibiru and everything that we're seeing, people are giving different reports. Does this have anything to do with a lot of people all over the country are experiencing cold weather? They're saying it's supposed to be the coldest winter ever in New York on record and stuff like that. Atlanta is going to be cold as hell down here during the weekend. And I know this is a magical time with the winter solstice and there's a lot of energy in the ethers right now. Is this being caused by anything happening in the skies, Rod?
No, the weather right now. So we had to have them turn off CERN so we can monitor accurately what was taking place.
So okay.
I mean, that's CERN HARP. So Donald J. Trump wrote executive order to turn HARP off. Right? The U.S. military controls all of the HARP facilities in the world. Right? So, because we need to know because the weather is something we're supposed to be predictable. Right? But when they're using the HARP program, they don't make it unpredictable. It's still predictable. But let's say you was going to get an inch of rain, they'll use it to give you 5 feet. Right? So this is the same as when they was flooding us out in the cities. It's just a smaller scale flooding us out in the cities.
Okay.
Okay, now, the HARP machines is off. The women are knocking. That means they starting to wake up. Right? And when they wake up, they call back Isis, Queen of Heaven and Earth. What's the first syllable of that name?
Right.
The first syllable, not letter.
Is that
Ice?
Ice? Okay, Ice. No, Ice. Okay, my fault. Yeah, I'm thinking.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, now the story is Loki and his mother, the ice giants. Right. The IS is a plural SA, which is the Sa in reverse, because she was the god of all of the priestesses. Right? So she became the Ice Sa priestess. Right? Which is the offset seat. Isis is just homonymically tied to what they would call her phonetically in English if they reference the cold temperatures that's coming in the north. The south is up and north is down, and the temperature right now, the north and south pole are energetically trading places. This time the earth crust is not shifting because they redirected the trajectory of Nibiru, because it caused war. This just a lot of wars with the other planets in the system when they was in that other orbit that flipped the crust of the Earth. Right. So now it's going to be the electromagnetic field that's going to shift. Right. And then everybody at the same time going to hear that ringing in your ear that these doctors call tinnitus, so they can try to put your ass back to sleep when you start recognizing it.
What is that? Because what is that?
That's
that ringing.
That's the A-tone Farrakhan talked about at the Million Man March. Everybody gonna hear that high pitched ringing in their ear. Everybody that's organic to the earth. And everybody, when everybody hear that, it's gonna have a side effect. It's called the universal. It's like pairing Bluetooth. It's like pairing Bluetooth. We all organic nanotechnology.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the body is made of. You program the nanotech to form into the form.
Mm-hmm.
But you needed something called a uterus, which is a duplicate of the great mother of creation, in order to allow us to cycle back through. But you can only come back through the same bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So let's say a whole new bloodline is created since the last time you came here. Right? That bloodline got to mix in to your bloodline in some kind of way, or it won't be able to stay here. It won't be able to sync. They call that tying into the vine. Right? So when the Yakub grafted a group of people that couldn't ascend, our obligation as the earth gods is to not allow a sentient being that was willing to do their self-work be denied the right of ascension just because you fucked up on a program in your science laboratory.
Mm-hmm.
The unfair nature of that makes us all have to pay the price for the redemption. It's called the redemption program. Right? You always talking about Jesus came to redeem the world and all that shit. That's what they're talking about. But Jesus is ISIS. Right? I can't say that enough because people don't know that all they got to do is look at it in the Greek. In the Greek, she's still ISIS. Now remember, it's two people talking in the red, but you can't tell because they told you all of it is one person. But remember, when the son was born, they gave him a definitive name. His name was Emmanuel, which means God is with us. Right? So his mother, Hail Mary, Mother of God. His mother, being erased from the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Mother turned into a man, ghost, homosexual, trans-testicle, right? Confuse the masses with what you already know to be true. So you use a piece of the truth in order to tell the lie. That's Enlil's trait. He do it everywhere he go. Why would I fall for it? Right? He do it everywhere he go, use the same, turn it around backwards and give him their same shit back. But then you tell him, because it's his shit. I don't want none of his shit. Take your shit back. Now he's stuck. That's how he lost. So when my turn comes to take the test to determine if I can see what the problem is, because even his dumbass kids forgot what the fuck they did to fuck us up. So now they know, just like Inky kids know, that it's only one of the brothers that's going to tell you what the problem is, and he ain't going to take it personal, which is a key critical part of it. Stop taking sides and argue with the facts. Right? So everybody want to take sides because they like the person that's talking. Fuck that shit. I ain't taking sides. I want to know if what you're telling me is the truth, and I'm going to investigate it. And that's how Malachi York got me caught up in his shit, because he kept saying, prove me wrong. It was one problem with that shit. I keep proving this motherfucker right every time I try to prove him wrong, until I kick something and stub a toe. Now I got to pay attention to what he's saying, because everything I did to prove him wrong proved him right. Right? It's the same with, now the language is different for Elijah. Elijah talk in English, but he's talking organic Native American. So his information, the closest parallel gonna be Noble Drew Ali, because he's raising the more science up in front of our face to tell us these the motherfuckers that's gonna get it. They came in hostile off the left bump on the 32-degree Scottish Rite. Shriners and Freemasons. This is what he's telling me in the pictures. But you don't know the Mississippians read the fucking pictures. We read the pictures. The pictures is all it is hieroglyphics in motion. When you hear the video, that's hieroglyphics. You can't have a video without having frames. I don't care if it's digital. I don't care if it's analog. You can't have a video that doesn't have a series of frames. That's hieroglyphics slow down. When you see it frame by frame. Once you read the hieroglyphics, the whole story is there. The holy drama. The wars of the gods landed on Earth. Right? And this is what it was about. Genetic fuck-ups and genetic cleanup. The fake scientists trying to overthrow the real scientists. And realize that he done scienced himself in the corner. So now he got to stand there and hope he win an Oscar. Because he froze on the 45 at 32 degrees.
You talking about in there?
All of them. They don't know what to do. They stuck, froze at 32 degrees. Right? So I just got to give them 33 or 34 degrees and I'll fall their ass out. But fuck that. I'm coming with overkill now. So I'm going to give them a whole 45 degrees. If you motherfuckers can't catch up to that, argue with the receipts. Don't argue with me. So at first they used to say I didn't have no receipts. I'm just talking out the side of my neck. Because they didn't know who I was or where I came from. And people was listening to this, and they like, oh, he don't know what he's talking about. He ain't got no references. That's because I've been dropping the references for the first 2 years. So now I say, okay, well, since they don't think I got no references, Malachi told me the young elder is the one that I'm supposed to teach in the public with in order for people to understand it, because two country boys know how to talk to each other. I'm just a country boy that grew up in the city, right? So when young elder talk, he can tell Malachi sent energy signatures through the information that he wrote that we both